filed 4 family members plead not guilty in shocking kidnapping case. A San Pedro woman is charged with child neglect after she is found sleeping and under the influence of alcohol. And Rotary clubs unite for Polio Day, a win for global health. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, October 25th, 2024. Good evening. With your news also Samukas and Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. A 23-year-old woman who was allegedly kidnapped, held hostage, and tortured by her in-laws in Belmopan remains hospitalized at Western Regional Hospital. The 4 persons who were charged in connection with this incident appeared in court today in Belmopan. During the arraignment, they pleaded not guilty to multiple charges. The family includes 45-year-old Guatemalan pastor Luis Alfredo Toyul Sr. and 59-year-old Matilda Games, both facing charges of administering a noxious substance. 24-year-old Luis Alfredo Toyul Jr. was arraigned on charges of aggravated assault and wounding, while his father also faces charges of kidnapping, aggravated assault, wounding, and sexual assault. Additionally, 43-year-old Elizabeth Toyul, who is of Mexican nationality, was charged with kidnapping, wounding, and aggravated assault. According to authorities, the pastor allegedly held his daughter-in-law captive for 8 days in their home on John Saldivar Boulevard. Reports indicate she had tried to escape a troubled marriage and sought refuge with her family before returning to her husband's home, where the abuse allegedly occurred. She was reportedly assaulted, deprived of food, and left in unsanitary conditions without access to basic necessities. Now, while today the pictures of these 4 individuals have made their way across the country, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says the police made a mistake by releasing their faces, as it may cause re-victimization on the victim.
I'm not too familiar with her family. I know police in Belmopan are looking at that matter very, very carefully. And again, I saw that our press office issued the photographs of the arrestees. I would not have done that. That was ill-advised. I've not spoken to Ms. Hartens about it, but by issuing the photographs of those persons who are arrested, it then takes the public back to who the victim is. And the heinousness in which the crime was perpetrated against her, I am sure that it is going to bring shame to her. It is going to cause her to relive when people look at her, because people who know her husband, seeing his picture on the news, will know exactly who the person is. I don't think that in an instant like this we should have exposed her the way we did.
The 4 persons, we understand, were denied bail and were sent to the Central Prison until their next court case. A 31-year-old mother of 2 children who is a domestic of the DFC area, San Pedro, Tongan, Burgess Key, has been charged with child neglect. She is accused of being found sleeping at a shop stall, allegedly under the influence of alcohol, while her daughters, aged 6 and 4, were home alone. The incident took place on October 22nd. Kyle pleaded not guilty, and she was offered bail in the sum of $1,000 plus one surety of the same amount, which she met. Conditions to her bail is that she is to report to the San Pedro police station every Friday, effective next week, Friday, November 1st. Kyle must also not interfere with the children or any other witnesses for the police. Police were called around 2 in the afternoon where they found Kyle with the girls. She had just gotten back after leaving around 11 a.m. A neighbor called police to say she had taken the children into her care. Police say while speaking with the mother, they smelled a strong aroma of alcohol. The mother and her 2 children were escorted to the police station where the 2 children were placed with the Human Services Department as the mother was detained and later charged. In a striking reflection of political turmoil, the United Democratic Party, UDP, finds itself in disarray, grappling with deep-rooted divisions and a lack of cohesive leadership as tensions between party figures escalate. The ongoing saga between party leaders Shine Barrow and Tracy Panton has not only created a rift within the UDP, but has also raised questions about the party's viability as an effective opposition against the ruling government. As the party convenes for discussions, aspirations for unity appear increasingly distant. Factions within the UDP, led by Barrow and Panton, have been unable to bridge their ideological divides, leading to a standoff that analysts believe could hamper the party's prospects in the upcoming general elections. Observers know that without a united front, the UDP risks ceding further ground to the ruling administration, effectively leaving the government unchecked. Recent comments from Minister of Public Service Henry Charles Usher underscore the gravity of the situation. Usher, while not directly addressing the internal strife within the UDP, acknowledged the potential impact on democratic processes.
The convention on Sunday. No, I think looking at it from a governance perspective, it is unfortunate the way the opposition can't seem to get their act together, the infighting that they're having, because they are part of the government. The government, they are elected by the people. They serve in the National Assembly. We've been arguing about this or making mention of it to the Speaker that you have a member of the opposition that has not appeared in the House of Representatives except for that first initial time and probably stayed for 30 minutes. That is a good governance issue. You are elected by the people to do a job and you just refuse to show up to do your job. So that is something. The motion last week to remove opposition members from House committees, making it almost impossible that the opposition will be able to be a part of all of these House committees. I think on Wednesday, yesterday, there were like 6 House committees. I'm not sure how many of them the opposition attended.
But you voted, you were the only person who voted aye to pass that motion.
The Speaker determines if a motion passes. I heard that on Channel 7, but I don't agree with that.
Sir, I saw you say...
I did vote, but I might not be the only one. Okay. But the Speaker is the one who decides if a motion passes. I can't decide if a motion passes or not.
The People's Constitutional Commission, PCC, has remained a focal point in national discourse as it completes its consultations across the country, gathering diverse perspectives from the Belizean population. As the Commission progresses towards a significant constitutional overhaul, insiders reveal that a draft version of the revised Constitution is slated to be shared with stakeholders by next month. Despite the momentum, the PCC faces setbacks with the recent departures of prominent members Dr. Dylan Vernon and Dr. Harold Young, both of whom voluntarily recused themselves from the commission. The reasons behind their exit remain unclear, prompting inquiries about the commission's direction and the implications for its critical work. Minister of Constitutional and Political Reform Henry Charles Usher gave his insight into the PCC's next steps and the impacts of the recent changes in leadership.
You have to realize what the People's Constitution Commission, what the idea behind this is. It is about going to the people of Belize. Really, the commissioners are there as a conduit between the people of Belize and the government of Belize. there has always been the criticism that the government is not hearing what the people are saying. Well, this is an opportunity to hear directly from the people utilizing the forum of the PCC. It is not about any particular commissioner with a personal agenda to come in and say, this is how the Constitution should look. Their job and the job of all of the stakeholders was to get this information from the people, report back to the government. For instance, on the issue of finance and accountability, do you as a Belizean citizen feel comfortable with the budget process? That's supposed to come back to the government. On the issue of the head of state, do you as a Belizean people want to see the Governor General remain the head of state, or do you want to see a shift? That is what we're doing. It's not for any particular individual or stakeholder to go in and try to bring their agenda or their feelings into the process. This is the People's Constitution Commission, and I don't think we appreciate that. This is the first time in the history of the world, really, that something like this has been done. Barbados is currently in the process of rewriting their constitution, but what they have done is put together a team of lawyers stuck in a room somewhere trying to write this new constitution. They were supposed to release it in March. We're now in October. We still have not seen that. The People's Constitution Commission is one that it took a little longer. Why? Because that process of educating and consulting with the Belizean people is very critical. So I understand that Dr. Young was making some criticisms, and that's fine for him to make. What he should have done, if he felt that he had input or he had points to make, was go to some of the consultations and raise those points at those consultations. Mr. Dylan Vernon, who was also part of the commission, he was not let go, by the way. He stepped out. He has written articles, he has written opinions that have been sent to the PCC. He has attended some of the consultation processes. So I'm not sure if Dr. Young did the same, but any criticism that is now coming, my answer to them is, then you should have gone to the consultation.
Coming up next, International Congress of Medicine kicks off in Cancun. Spotlight on artificial intelligence integration in healthcare. Stay tuned.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
The International Congress of Medicine, now in its 5th edition, is underway in Cancun, attracting medical professionals and students from around the globe. This year's Congress has garnered significant attention thanks to its dedicated sessions on artificial intelligence and its potential applications in the medical field. Among the attendees are 2 medical officers from Belize, Dr. Nelson Marin and Dr. Manuel Estrada, who are keen to absorb insights from the event. The Congress, which runs until Saturday, aims to facilitate discussions on innovative approaches in medicine, particularly through the use of all technologies. One of the highlights of the Congress was a session featuring Inder Pahal, an MBA, MD, and Vice President of Lecturio GMB. In a recent Zoom interview with our reporter Elmer Cornejo, Pahal explained the transformative role artificial intelligence can play in medical education and practice.
Artificial intelligence can help in different ways in different part of the medical education. So for students, it can help with their learning. They can have a virtual patient encounter where they will go through a full patient encounter and see before even walking into directly to the patient and talking to them, they can do a practice case. In medical field, artificial intelligence is already there. It's helping us with diagnostic process, with lab testings, markers for different diseases. We could use artificial intelligence to test it.
Dr. Manuel Estrada, stationed at the Northern Regional Hospital in Orange Walk, expressed his enthusiasm for the conference since it brings to light the importance of improving our health system through the adoption of modern tools and technologies.
Well, I find it very interesting, and knowing the global trend helps us to create like policies that will help us gear the health services toward that point or that goal.
What is it that you expect to bring back to Belize?
Well, what I expect is to gain knowledge from our counterparts here in Mexico, and from there we apply to our healthcare settings and see how we can improve the system. The thing with this conference is it highlights some of the very important topics that we are currently dealing with. For example, hypertension, diabetes, which is a burden to our health system. And the trends that is currently in Mexico is also the trend that is also affecting Belize. So learning from their system and their failures, we can improve our system, in our healthcare system, so that we be more effective in providing healthcare to our patients.
Now I know that the conferences are expensive. Would it be your opinion that the ministry should invest in, getting our own Belizean doctors to these sessions that will obviously impact the lives of people in Belize?
Yes, conferences are expensive, especially if you have to pay on your own. But at the end of the day, Mr. Cornejo, look at it this way. I don't see it as an expense. I see it as an investment towards our knowledge, so that we can improve and bring this knowledge back to Belize and improve our system.
Equally excited about the opportunity is second-year medical student Astrid Garcia from Universidad Anahuac de Cancun. She described the experience as an eye-opener, adding that the knowledge she has gained is invaluable.
Actually, attending this Global Health Congress, it's my first time. It's an incredible opportunity that the school has given us as medical students. And these presenters have been discussing different ideas and health problems that have been happening worldwide. And they have been discussing different solutions that we can put as medical students. And because we're not sure what can happen in the next 10 or 5 years, and they also have taught us about these solutions that they have come up with and the time it takes for them to actually enact in these policy changes, because it's not something that we can get done overnight. And I think they have also given us a different perspective, because a health problem isn't the same in Belize than it is here in Mexico or maybe in Asia. And I think that the different presenters have also offered extra information that as medical students we can use and we just haven't seen in the classroom as yet. And I feel that as a medical student, this reinforces the idea that I'm working towards to become a doctor, and being placed in this environment with the different doctors and just seeing how their passion for this career have given them to do a different and larger movement. And it has taught me that everything that I'm doing is for making a difference, and not just a difference here in my community, but a global difference, a systematic change. And I think that being able to network with the different doctors and the different presenters, it has also given me new opportunities that I didn't know that I could have received.
As discussions continue throughout the week, it is clear that the integration of artificial intelligence in medicine is a pressing topic, one that holds the potential to redefine how healthcare is delivered in the future. The Congress serves as a pivotal platform for nurturing ideas and collaborations that could drive significant advancements within the medical community. Every year, October 24th is celebrated as World Polio Day, which is dedicated to raise awareness about the infectious disease commonly known as polio. World Polio Day was established by Rotary International over a decade ago to commemorate the birth of Jonas Salk, who led the first team to develop a vaccine against the disease. Here in Belize, Rotary clubs across the country commemorate World Polio Day by hosting various fundraising initiatives to assist the global End Polio campaign. Today, our news team spoke to Rotary Orange Walk about the commemoration of World Polio Day 2024, which is being celebrated under the theme, "A win against polio is a win for global health."
Polio, maybe many people might not know, but polio is a virus that can cause kids to paralyze kids, right? And it can be a deadly virus.
To raise funds here in Orange Walk, the Rotary Club is hosting its annual polio run over the weekend.
Polio is it's something international that Rotary internationally support. We have been fighting, this virus since 1979. Rotary internationally has been supporting and fundraising for the cause to assist countries where we have children that have been affected by this virus.
To support the club in its goal to raise as much funds as possible, which will go towards the End Polio campaign, you can sign up for the walk or also purchase a t-shirt or stuffed toy.
What our club is doing in Orange Walk, we have an annual walk or run at 6 a.m. at the Central Park here in Orange Walk. We have flyers you can find the flyer on our Facebook page, the Rotary Club of Orange Walk. The flyer has the QR code. You can reach out to any of our Rotarians. We have several Rotarians here in Orange Walk. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to our Facebook pages. You can register, or if you would like, tomorrow you show up, you come and you can register there. You make your donation and you join the cause.
The polio walk will start off at the Central Park on Saturday at 6 in the morning. During his trip to Jamaica, leader of the opposition, Shine Barrow, visited the Chinese embassy. Barrow's visit to the embassy, which has garnered attention for its implications on Belize's diplomatic relations with Taiwan, raises questions about the motivations behind his itinerary. During an interview with the media, Honorable Henry Charles Usher was asked to weigh in on the move.
The leader of the opposition does not represent the government or the people of Belize. So if he wants to go to any embassy, that is his business. Taiwan has remained a good friend to our country. We are good partners for 35 years now. That is why at the previous House meeting to the one last Friday, there was a resolution passed supporting, enhancing, and really promoting the relationship between Belize and Taiwan and the friendship Belize and Taiwan. It was unfortunate that the leader of the opposition abstained from voting and supporting that resolution. We know why he did that now. He said that he wanted to go back to his party. Well, now he has to explain to his party why he went to that particular embassy when he traveled to Jamaica. So really it's an issue for the UDP to try to come forward with a unified position, because we know some members are totally against what he did, and they have to work that out. But he does not speak for the government or the people of Belize, that I can tell you.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
It's a historic day for Dangriga, for the country of Belize. We have been waiting for 24 years to open this port.
Today, with the collaboration of the government of Belize, I am pleased to welcome you to this groundbreaking ceremony to mark the rejuvenation of the Port of Commerce Bight and the return of commerce through tourism in Dangriga. The reopening of this port under Southern Deep Port Development Limited will see significant employment, planned for over 100 employees during the 3-year construction period and over 60 full-time employees thereafter, impacting the well-being of the Dangriga and surrounding communities.
We brought some consultants from the Bahamas who has done this in several Caribbean islands, and they went all across the country, and when they came back they signaled Commerce Bight as being one of the areas with the greatest potential for pocket cruises and nautical tourism.
Any developing country or developed country, for there to be long-term development, there has to be a good port. We're going to work with you, that we're going to ensure that this is a success, because your success is our success, it is Belize's success.
Today, a number of community-oriented policing officers from across the country completed a 7-day training in line with the Positive Engagement and Civic Education PEACE program. The PEACE program, which is a breakaway from the program previously known as GREAT, seeks to create officers to engage with middle and upper division students and teachers in various areas such as saying no to bullying, empathy, civic pride, respecting others, and illicit behaviors such as gang-related activities.
No, it's a positive education and passive engagement and civic education program, which we had implemented following GREAT program becoming obsolete. What we did then was to put together a cohort of police officers from across the country, led by Dr. Priscilla Brown and Mr. Howell Gillett, and they embarked on putting together the manual for the PEACE program. Following that, last year we had the piloting of the program in Belize City, and then now we are now expanding on that program. The expansion required that we had to train more police officers and instructors to go into the classroom and instruct on the content of the PEACE program. And so we are graduating 34 officers today, and those officers are from across the country, and their task will be to ensure that they go into the classrooms. As we now expand the program across the country, we expect that they are going to instruct the students on the content of this program. And again, it's a part of our community policing programs. You would know that we are currently embarking more aggressively on the importance of community policing. And if it is that we want to break the cycle of gangs, we have to start with our children who are in that primary school age. Making sure that we raise the tree the right way is important, because if you neglect the tree and the tree bends, it is going to be difficult to straighten that tree. And so we are here to go into the classroom, work with teachers, work with parents, to make sure that we get our young people to walk that straight line, teaching them life skills and other programs that is going to help them to become better decision makers as they grow into life.
The PEACE program comprises different lessons that include specific reinforcement activities that will facilitate personal development and good citizenship. The program has notably garnered support from the U.S. Embassy and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology. In international news, in a landmark announcement that marks a significant public health achievement, Egypt has officially joined the ranks of over 100 nations certified as malaria-free by the World Health Organization, WHO. This major milestone, revealed on October 28th, underscores nearly a century of persistent efforts by the Egyptian government and health authorities to eradicate the disease, which has long been intertwined with the nation's history. Malaria is as old as Egyptian civilization itself, but a disease that plagued pharaohs now belongs to its history and not its future, stated Dr. Tedros, WHO Director General, underscoring the historical significance of this certification. Archaeological evidence suggests that malaria was present in Egypt as far back as 4000 BC, with records of the disease found in ancient mummies. Mitigating measures began in earnest during the 1920s, laying the groundwork for today's achievement. Egypt now becomes the third country in the WHO Eastern Mediterranean region to obtain malaria-free status, following the United Arab Emirates and Morocco. In total, 44 countries and 1 territory have reached this critical public health goal globally. Receiving the malaria elimination certificate today is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new phase, remarked Dr. Khalid Abdel, Deputy Prime Minister of Egypt. His statement reflects the commitment to maintaining the hard-earned progress and further bolstering the nation's healthcare system to combat the threat of other infectious diseases. The successful eradication of malaria in Egypt is particularly poignant, given the country's extensive public health campaigns over the decades, which includes widespread insecticide spraying, changes in land use, and community education initiatives aimed at prevention. Each step brought the nation closer to this achievement, which now stands as a testament to resilient healthcare strategies. The recent achievement echoes the success of other countries, such as Belize, which was certified malaria-free just over a year ago, celebrating a similar journey over more than 70 years. With Egypt's certification, it illustrates a growing global movement towards the eradication of malaria, a disease that has devastating effects on individuals and communities alike. As Egypt steps into this new chapter, the recent certification not only enhances the country's credibility in global health, but also serves as an inspiration to nations still battling malaria and other public health challenges. For 104 million Egyptians, this milestone symbolizes a healthier future and a significant triumph over a historic disease. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, October 28th, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, have a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.